Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday Night Festivities. Karyn Bryant with you. KB, just call me KB. That's pretty much everybody calls me. So listen, welcome to Tuesday Night Festivities. I always say this now every week. This is our 21st episode, and I realize that I sound a little bit like a broken record where I'm like, oh my God, massive show this week, amazing guest, incredible guest. But that's exactly what the case is. Again, tonight we have Chris Weidman, a former middleweight champ for the UFC. He is a great guy. I've known him a number of years, and we've worked together. But you know, he and Renato Laranja have some history. Speaking of goofy and fun, ladies and gentlemen, let's please welcome 27-time World Jiu-Jitsu champion, Mr. Renato Laranja. Hi.
How you doing, Karyn Bryant?
Are you good?
I'm okay. Yeah, I'm.
Are you a little tense?
If I'm honest, I'm a little tense. You know, got a little butterfly in there in the stomach. You know.
Okay. And why is that?
You know, there's a bit of a checker pass with me and Chris Weidman. You know, and you know, I've had to work through a lot of stuff over the past, God, must have been at least 6 years since I've seen him on the face. And, you know, I don't know what to anticipate. You know, I'm come with low expectation. I expect the worst and expect the worst, but have it and expect the worst. I'm hope for the worst.
Well, I think you hope for the best.
I'm expect for the best, but I'm hope it's gonna be the worst. Something like that.
I think you're getting me confused here. You expect the worst, but you hope for the best.
I don't want to get caught up in all that stuff. Okay.
Okay. I understand. So,
but you know, there was a lot of unpleasantness that happened between me and Chris Weidman. I'm sure we're gonna get onto this. There's two sides of the story. The long and short of that one is I was show up at a charity seminar that he was having for
That's
cancer.
very kind.
Yeah, and I was a surprise guest. It was supposed to be a treat for Chris Weidman and the people there, the Miller brothers, all that stuff. We was getting along. One thing lead to another. We get into an altercation. And he was sneak attack. And then long story short, I end up choking him till he chopped. Now, in the intervening year, a lot have happened. There's been a lot of water onto the hitch, and so now, you know, I went to Hey Longo and Matt Serra.
Okay.
And we
the Godfather.
Well, kind of. I mean, if you know, I know you're making light of that one, but you know, to be honest, it was almost like a casino, because you know, well, I'll tell you what. When they first wanted me to meet the guy, to saw him, you know, it was like casino. They said, you see that, you know, remember, you know, Himo Gaji was Joe Pesci. He said, you see that guy over there making a lot of money for it. He's going to continue making a lot of money. Really good. You know that one? Yeah. And then, so I was go there to keep an eye on it, whatever. And then the unpleasantness was happened there. Okay. Then, unfortunately, I went to meet with them a second time to kind of deal with this back then. Okay. And then it was more like the Godfather Part 2.
Okay.
But I was like Frank Pentangeli.
Okay.
I said, I want the Weidman brothers dead. And then Matt Serra said, no. And I said, in their own language so they can understand, I said, march. And then they don't want to do that one. So I said, chich, abort. And then I was left. I hadn't talked to them for a long time. And a lot of stuff's happening. I'm sure we're going to get into that. Okay. But then after all that, you know, I finally talked to these guys and, you know, they've agreed to have him come on here, and Chris has agreed. And, you know, we're going to see, depend how the attitude of Chris Weidman. And, you know, I don't know what to expect here.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I have some questions prepared to try to help you guys. I would like to facilitate the conversation because, like you said, it's been a long time, and I don't know where was he in his championship journey? Is that before he was champ?
He was champion already.
So he might be a little more sensitive to having been tapped out.
Listen, I didn't make my bet. If someone attack and throw onto me a pro wrestling move and try to damage the neck, the spine, his luck that he got off, not to start any shit, but his luck he got off that easy into my as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, that makes sense. I understand. Yeah, I understand.
And a lot of people has mentioned how I'm dressed, but listen, this was the outfit I wore when I beat my first child support case. The people's court.
Is it your lucky shirt for court?
And why, I figure why, it gave me too big luck then. Now I'm gonna have some luck now,
Okay, right. So who's the bad guy here? Do you have an idea of that, or?
Listen, if you're asking me, I'm the good guy in my story.
Because he could. I imagine. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I imagine he could say that you bum rushed him.
No, I don't. I didn't give him the bum's hush. In fact, I was trying to talk to him like a civilized adult. And to be fair, the Miller brothers was there.
Okay. And there is video footage of this as well. I've seen.
There's video footage, but the thing you don't have a video, and maybe Chris, we're gonna see how he sponsored this. But Chris Weidman and myself, this was one day before Chris went to his fight. To his fight camping.
Okay.
For the second silver fight. Okay.
Okay.
So this would be the last day he could have alcohol or eat what he want or whatever, because then the next day, all different.
Right.
Now the Miller brothers, knowing that, they make their own beer. I don't know if you know this.
Oh,
they make the Miller beer. Miller brothers.
Well, Jim. No, it's not Miller beer of big time.
Well, it's their own Miller, and it's very much more powerful than a Miller beer.
Yes, exactly.
It's like it's almost like you're drinking, it tastes better, but it's almost have the effect of a malt liquor.
Okay.
So they gave us, before we was doing interviews and stuff like that, they gave us some 32 ounces or 22s to drink of that one.
Okay.
Maybe Chris Weidman and I had maybe a couple more than we should have had.
Okay.
And then, you get into a disagreement about stuff, and then, things happen that we hit grab.
Okay. 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 Ooh, I don't know who this is calling me. I was going to say, he should be joining us any moment now. I just realized now, though, I was like, I think he knows how to get on an IG live. I never told him jump in or whatever.
I think he knows that he would have to press the
request button.
But I think he's Longo and Sarah said that he was gonna he's supposed to come on at 7:15.
Okay. Well, this might be him here.
So he didn't do anything. He so far he's a no show. He's not a no show yet.
No, he's here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so please welcome the former UFC middleweight champion, Mr. Chris Weidman, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Chris, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for joining me and Renato Laranja for Tuesday Night Fistivities.
My pleasure. I'm happy to be here.
Cool. Well, as you can see, Renato is here, and I know you guys. We were just talking before you got here, giving people a little bit of the backstory for the two of you. And I feel like tonight we want to try to work through some stuff, if that's okay.
Let's go ahead and give it a shot. This guy's
okay with me, Chris, you're looking well.
Thank you. You look good. I'm glad you dressed up for the occasion. I got the honey.
If I don't normally.
Oh, do you usually dress up? I don't know. Seeing you in the gi.
Okay.
Well, I should say this too, though. Before we actually get into all of this, I do feel like we should have a little bit of pleasantries. So, Chris, where are you now? Are you, because you completely moved to the Carolinas, right?
Yeah, I'm in Fort Mill, South Carolina now.
Okay.
Oh, God, are you?
Yeah.
The South.
Yes,
And
sir.
so, is that so that you and Steven, you guys and your families, everybody could be close?
Yeah, that was a big part of it. My sister moved down. She started having kids. My parents started talking about moving down, and so we had young kids, and that was it. My wife found a good place, and here we are, and we love it. It's been great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Good. Well, I'm glad to hear it. And how are you healing up? I mean, we want to talk a little bit more about that a little bit later, but in general, how's your health? You feeling your leg? Everything's feeling good?
Yeah, I'm coming back. I'm feeling good. I'm starting to actually be able to train and do everything I want to do, sparring and working with some guys. The leg is still not where I want it to be exactly, but it's still not strong enough, and still working on it with physical therapy. But I'll be back. And I'm excited for it.
Cool. Well, that's exciting. Well, so we did want to get into some stuff here. So first and foremost, what is your take on what happened between you and Renato those years?
I was doing an interview, and he kind of stormed in on my interview. He was disrespectful. I know he's accomplished a lot in jiu-jitsu, but that's not fighting. He got in my face. We were drinking some beers. The Miller brothers had their own beer. And,
At least he's tell the truth about that one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we were drinking a little beer, and he got in my face, and if there wasn't mats on the floor, he would have been knocked unconscious with the throw I hit him with. But,
from a sneaker jack, yeah.
I actually was worried when I threw him. I thought I might have knocked him out, so that's kind of why he ended up taking my back there. I don't think he's as good as people think.
Oh, so we're starting off on the hung foot here, but let's that should be fair. This was for a charity, okay? So I didn't make no money coming to that one, okay? Yes, they flew me out in first class and put me up and all that kind of stuff, but he was supposed to be finish his interview. Now, yeah, they want to see Chris Weidman, but he's go on and on about he's droning on and on about his legacy, the hustling, Long Island. He want to talk about his favorite. He like to eat ziti with fucking vodka sauce, all his favorite color, his favorite flavor, whatever the fuck is that one.
Penny olive vodka.
I'm gonna catch a plane. And then they saying, look, the kids is gonna be depressed. The kids might not gonna make it if they don't hear Hanach interview. So I'm supposed to go second. And then they keep saying like, let's give this guy the cut. He's not paying attention to any of. They're going, okay, let's have this one up. He's keep going. So I'm Hatchet came up and gently to gave him the motivation for him.
So you did come after me though. You're admitting that.
I came to you to give you, because who else was gonna do it? These guys, the grips, the key grip, the catering. One of the poor children, one of the cancer children.
Hey, time out. You feeding back?
You prefer that?
You have a little bit of feedback on your end there, Renato. So maybe it's me, but maybe I just need to turn this down a little bit. But okay, so
I hear you.
There's just a little bit of an echo here going on, but
yeah, I hear him fine.
Okay, good. That's all I want to know. Okay, so
but I can hear
Chris,
you.
He said that this was the day before you left for fight.
When I hear you, I hear a second you.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm hearing on you as well.
Because it's happening at your place, it's not happening at his place. That's the one thing I can say that he did hide all the whole time.
I'll turn it down even lower then. Yes. Okay. But so Chris, this was a day before you left for fight
maybe I gotta
camp?
turn down my volume. Let me help you out. If that's messing you up, let me do the right thing here. It's been a while since we've had an issue. Let me try to make sure he doesn't have any IT issues.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, hey, I think that's better actually.
Is that better?
It is better.
All right. There we go.
Okay, cool. So so it was a day before you left for fight camp?
Yeah, I believe it was. It was my second Anderson Silva fight. I was part of a charity event, and
No good deed go unpunished, you know.
next thing I know, this guy was in my face.
Right.
I didn't really know who he was. I knew he was some jiu-jitsu guy. I know he's won some world
That's Hitch.
championships.
That's Hitch. Chris.
He was
That
doing
is Hitch.
he was kind of.
You know what?
He was doing a seminar at Renzo's that day, and I don't know. He was a little rude to people on the mat. You know, he wasn't really respecting people, especially in Renzo Gracie's academy. That blue basement, you got to respect people. I don't care what you become.
Yeah, it's Renzo's.
And yeah, at Renzo's. It was at Renzo's, and he was a little bit of an egomaniac. And next thing I know, he was interrupting my interview, and I'm hard to get pissed off.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna be hard to get me mad. But this guy, he encroached into my personal space, and I had no choice but to defend myself.
That sounds legitimate. Renato, I don't want to pick sides, but that sounds very legitimate to me.
That's fine. That's from his perspective, you know. And what happened, you know. So now we're trying to move past that, you know, because listen, the only reason why I'm doing this is because, you know, the Laranja family and the Serra Longo family have, you know, we was in the olive oil business years ago together. And so I went to them. They asked me to went to them. I actually flew out there before this happened, and I talked to them. We had to sit down, okay? We had a gabujin, okay? We had an anisette.
The cappuccino.
Yeah.
The cappuccino.
Like I said, we had a gabujin, and they begged me to make things hype between us here.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna say. I have some questions here that should facilitate our conversation, and one of them, and Renato, I will start with you, because it does sound like you did interrupt Chris while he was speaking.
Fair enough.
So, can you say, the question is, would you let me explain why I did what I did? I suppose you already did that, right? You said he was
I think I
wrong.
did. I tried to.
So, Renato and Chris, what will happen if I don't let this beef go?
If you don't let what go? What was that?
If you don't let this beef go, what will this do to you moving forward? What will this do to your life if you don't let this beef go? Why are you holding on to it, is what I'm saying.
I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like he's just a disrespectful guy.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if he's changed. I tried to look the other way. I've, you know, went on with my life, and I don't think he's moved on. But
Doesn't
you
sound
know,
like it.
I don't know if I can get past this.
Have you moved on, Renato? No, clearly. Actually, you haven't. I can tell.
It's very hard to move on, you know, because there's been no apology, there's been no healing, there's been no dialogue for her, to be frank.
Okay. All right. So, what emotions am I experiencing about it? Renato, you seem, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you seem, you're not mad. You seem sadder than mad.
It's a disappointment.
Yeah.
Because he had a lot of, I think it's funny. He had a lot of potential. Okay.
Okay.
And as far as I'm concerned, he's the one who don't benefit. I could have been in all those fight camps from then on. And
True.
he's the one who was miss out on that. Myself, I've lived a great life, Ipoha. Okay, maybe I didn't went to the UFC, and maybe I paid a price. You know, you chop out the Golden Boy height when he's at the chop. I was supposed to get my shot at the UFC. All of a sudden, it disappeared. That's how I understand. You know, but I'm still, look at me. Look how I'm turned out. And then look, this guy still have a cane or whatever. He's like Willy Wonka in the beginning of the chocolate factory.
No, it's because he's achieved incredible things and keeps fighting and just happened to have a freak accident. It's not, he was a champion. You know that, right?
He's champion now? I beg to differ.
Listen, Chris, what emotions are you feeling about this? You don't seem upset, to be honest.
I just kind of want a rematch.
Like Renato is carrying the beat.
I kind of want to see how this dude's striking is. How you doing? Have you been working on your stand up?
Ask how long ago back in the full contact capoeira circuit. you know, when he saw me fight for the belt in Staten Island. Ask him about that. How long ago, Choju?
It's Staten Island.
Yeah, that's before you was ever making garlic knots and slinging Jamaican beef patties at his pizzeria.
Okay, Renato. How can you repair the damage that the conflict has caused to your relationship?
You know, when you get to watch these guys who have the lineage, you know, the connection between me and Hanzinho go back so long. And then you have Matt Serra, and then you have Hey Longo. All of that was the family. We was all supposed to be one of the family. And then when this was happened, everything was fractured. And then you have Weidman, and now they put their energies to Weidman, and look where he went to in Valley Trudeau. You have a tendency to forget. Now, and Weidman, instead of to bringing me in there, he now build up, well, he build up the fighter, he's build up a white boy, or what is he, Wonder Bread, or whatever. and then now he even blossom in there.
So
I feel like
you just feel left out.
I feel left out, and I feel like I got some money coming to me.
So you feel like you should have been in the UFC and you should have been a world champion. You think you had the potential just because that BS that happened that day at Renzo's, you know, storming in like that. Now you think you're actually a world champion material in the UFC. This isn't jiu-jitsu, bro.
Next question.
What, Chris? What do you think you could do to repair the damage? Does he just have to say he's sorry? Like, what do you need from him?
Listen, I want to hear this guy out. I want to hear him say sorry. You know, the guy. Listen, I was a young up and comer. I was on the top of the world.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of an interview for a charity for children who are in need, and he storms in. You know, everybody wants.
Chris Weidman.
Everybody wants a shot.
Chris Weidman, the children wasn't me.
You tried to get some fame off of me on
Chris
camera.
Weidman?
Yes.
The children was in need, but
yes.
You know what I'm starting to find out of all these fucking years later? I was the one who was in need for her.
Really?
It sounds like it.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't realize you were really hurting over there.
That's what I'm getting to. It sounds, Renato, you just sound like you're sad that your friend, you said you lost a friend for these years. That's really what it sounds like, that you really want to be friends again.
Next question.
Wow. All right. Hey, listen. I've never seen you put down your guard like this and try to open up. I appreciate you trying to be a big man right now and being honest with your feelings.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I respect that.
Okay, so here's a good question. What can we do to build trust between us? What can you two do to build trust? And maybe repair the damage and rebuild the bridge to friendship?
You know, not unlike, on Christmas or your birthday, are you smoking?
Am I smoking?
Those were
no, that's the hearts. My bad.
Yeah, that's the hearts. He's not smoking.
I thought he was smoking a fucking cigarette or vaping or something like that. I'm sorry. Not unlike, Christmas or your birthday.
Yeah.
You can get a present or you can get a card that have some nice stuffs in there. But I'm always of the belief that nothing speak volume like just a cash or a gift card.
So you feel like, how are you doing money-wise these days?
I know, it sounds like you're kind of in
I'm
need.
doing great. First of all, look at me. Let's not mince word here. I mean, the priceless arch. Exotic plants, you can't smell it right now, imported cologne, but it's the principle. So you're saving a lot of hand moving to fucking Charlestown or wherever you live now.
You know what I want to do? I I want to do a seminar, and I want to donate the money, start a GoFundMe for you, to kind of give back to all these years that you've been hurting and you haven't really been able to achieve the things that you wanted to achieve because you feel like me, the Sarah Longo group, Renzo Gracies, we all kind of let you down. So if you want, I could do it. We could arrange a seminar for you, and all proceeds will go towards your charity of choice, which is obviously you.
I can't accept that, but then again, yes, I can.
That sounds pretty great.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't want to accept that, but I feel like if I don't, it's like a slap. It's like a slap in the face of Longo Serra.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
I think
Listen.
that's a very, very positive step forward.
I'm gonna have my assistant talk to my manager, and then my manager's gonna talk to my agent, and they're gonna all set it up together for you, buddy.
That's very good, because
This is a starch.
As we kind of conclude this therapy session, I just want to know, you know, what will you be willing to let go of, though, to move forward? Can you let go of the fact that, you know, since Chris just offered the GoFundMe and this, can you let go of the woulda, coulda, shoulda? I should have been in the octagon with this guy. I should have been in this camp. Like, he just said he's going to fight again, and you could be in the next one. Like, can you let any of this baggage go?
You're talking to me?
Yeah.
Listen, I want to move on from me, and let's just see. Let's put this to the side, and let's just let's talk about. I feel like I'm making it about myself. Let's talk about Chris right now.
Okay.
And we can get back to some of that.
That's fair, because maybe just by having a normal conversation now, you'll rebuild that will.
I need to let that just sink in for a second here.
That's fair enough. That is actually very fair. They're very fair. So Chris, so you say you are you're on the mend and everything. What kind of what has been the hardest part? Has it been harder mentally, or has it been harder physically?
I would say both kind of been rough, and right now it's about just getting my strength back in the leg the way I need it to be, so I could, bounce on my toes the way I need to. And I'm sorry, I'm just thinking I'm open to having Renato in my camp. I'm open to realizing that this guy is one of the best guys in the world when it comes to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
And with my time off, with me being able to focus on different parts of different parts of martial arts and having more time on my hands, I could put some time aside to really focus on jiu-jitsu and really getting it to where I need it to be. So I'm down if Renato wants to come out to Fort Mill, South Carolina, train in my garage, and we could go over some things. And I do think he's being sincere with him being a little, sorry and upset about the way things went originally. So I'm down for it.
I'm not opposed to that, Chris Weidman.
Really great.
I can't wait to come down. I know that they're gonna welcome me with open arm in South Carolina. That's my greatest demographic. They love me down there.
I bet they do.
Yeah.
But maybe you could work with Steven as well.
I can work with you, Wonder Brad.
Well, it's Wonder Boy, actually.
I get it confused because with Wonder Brad, with
Why
Wonder
can't you
Boy.
work with him? He's a lovely guy.
Of course. Who don't like it, Wonder Boy?
Nobody doesn't like him.
I like that one.
He's the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah.
He's one of those ones. He's the nice. You can never hoot against this fucking guy. Okay.
Yeah.
His dad looked like he'll give you one of these though. Like his dad looked like he maybe is the darker side of that one. You understand?
Yes, I think you got that right.
Yeah.
I think that Wonder Boy is the one that turned the other cheek, and then his dad go, "What did you just say, boy?" Like one of the...
Yes, absolutely. Yep, you got him right.
Well, so
we'll get training. We'll get training with Wonder Bread and Wonder Boy and his dad, and we'll have a good time.
I get confused because they used to call me Gingerbread, but that was when I was a dancer. But that's a whole nother story.
Gingerbread.
Gotcha.
I mean, Renato, not for nothing, you could learn wrestling. You could learn some striking from those two. Like, what is your stand-up game like, actually, Renato?
Sure. Hey, I could learn a lot of stuff from these guys. We'd learn some of that stuff. But more important, I'm gonna teach that one, guys, the height way. You know, I have a question now that we can kind of, I feel like I can breathe again. You know?
I like this feeling that you're starting to come back to yourself, Renato.
Cheers, Renato.
Yeah,
Cheers. Cheers, Karyn.
Cheers,
Cheers.
Chris.
There was some healing that came here. You know, listen, I know there was a lot of stuff between us.
Yeah.
But I'm even my worst enemy. I don't ever want to see that happen. What happened to you that day against that Jamaican bomber house?
He's been on our show, Renato.
True. I love you, Yohaya. Now, when that happened, I have to know what the F went through your mind. When you, okay, first of all, when you realize that this indeed is what the case is, did you think like it was like a karma, like magic or some fucking shit? Like this is like a move, like Twilight Zone?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the only time I've ever seen it was when I saw Anderson Silva's leg break in half in my fight with him. So as soon as I kicked, you know, it created like a shotgun sound in that stadium, and I just thought, oh, he's not taking too many more of those. And then when I went to put my leg down, my leg wasn't there anymore. As I fell down, I looked down at my legs, and I seen that my leg looked like Anderson Silva's leg, and I'm like, what? How was that? There's no way that's my leg. How was that my leg? And then right away, honestly, I had instant like terrible pain. I don't know, because I didn't have adrenaline because the fight was 17 seconds in. We were 17 seconds in. I was not even warm yet. You know, you take that walk into the octagon. It takes about 5 minutes. You're in there. You're trying to keep a sweat going, but you can't keep a sweat going. And basically cold, my leg snapped in half, and it was instant. The worst pain I've ever experienced in my life.
That all sounds about height. That's what I had in my mind. The part that fucked my head up the worst, even worse than to seeing the kick, was you putting it back down.
Yeah.
That's the part I cannot, and I'm one of these people, like most things in combat sports don't bother me. You could be covered head to toe in blood with a gash with your head open. It don't bother me. For some reason, the broken bones, I just fucking hate that one. And I had to I turned the fucking TV off. I had to like walk away. Like I go do the dishes. I do start cleaning my house. I was like, I'm almost in denial. I'm like, that didn't just happen.
Yeah.
Because I just hate that. And I find it crazy how people on the internet, or even people I follow, they're missing some kind of gene where they're posting it and putting it in slow motion and making joke about it. And I think to myself, what are you missing where you even want to, let alone make joke about it?
See it.
Where you even want to look at that fucking shit more than once.
Yeah, I know.
I just don't understand people, but everybody's different. But I just...
Yeah, it's tough. And I was there that night, you know, at the Anderson fight. And I just remember walking back to the media room, like in shock. All of us were just in shock. And I felt so bad for you that night. You know what I mean? And like, that's the other thing to think about was like on that night, there's no way you slept well.
Yeah, I would have. Don't feel
You're
bad
talking
for
about
that
after?
night. Let's
No, I'm
save
saying
all
when
your
he,
bad.
no, the night
you gotta
that
save all
he
your
beat
bad
Anderson
feelings
and it
for
happened to
Anderson
Anderson.
Silva that night. What's that?
The night you beat Anderson, how you
Right,
felt.
but it happened to him. That's what I'm
Oh
saying.
yeah. I mean, honestly, I felt terrible the way that went. But yeah, it was shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking. I didn't believe it. I didn't realize. I know people who saw my fight with him. People played back. As soon as his light break, I circle around with my arms up, and people would just leave it at that. Like I was happy, or I was celebrating with his light broken. But just to make it clear, which I've said a million times, I didn't know his leg broke in half until I had no idea. I didn't even think was gonna even a possibility. and I circle around, and that's when I noticed his leg broke in half. When I seen him screaming at the top of his lungs, and I seen his leg was wobbling back and forth. I went over and checked on him, and right there and then it was like I was in shock. I felt terrible for him. I got his coaches into the octagon because they wouldn't let him in, and now after going through that same experience, I feel I had him on my podcast, and I feel even more of a connection with him now, and I have more respect for him on a whole nother level for what he's been able to do coming back from this injury.
Well, yeah, that's what I wanted to touch on next, is like what kind of advice he gave you, because there's literally one guy you can go to about this, in the world.
Yeah.
And it's like, the advice because I could imagine, like, let alone forget about you. Imagine just fighters in general, not even in the UFC, just fighters in general going, fuck, I don't feel good about throwing a kick. I don't want to get a kick checked or whatever, because fuck, what if that happens? Like I don't want to, I can't imagine the gun shyness after that.
Yeah. He straight up, I called him in the back of I wasn't walking for a long time, and my wife was driving me around in the back of her minivan, and Anderson Silva called me maybe 2 or 3 weeks after the injury, and we had a great conversation, and he really helped me. Like, it's it's easy to say, it makes sense that it's the one person you could talk to, that must be cool, but he really did help me, because he let me know it's all going to be mental. It's going to be a long road, but it really is all going to be in your mind, and you can get through this. And he really became a good friend through this process. And we were enemies for a long time. I didn't really, as much as I appreciate how good of a martial artist he was, we had feuds backstage and stuff like that. There was a lot of tension. I was a young, angry, chip on the shoulder type of guy who I was going to become world champion, and he didn't want to give it to me, and we were colliding. So he was very influential during this time. He's been great.
Nice. I'm glad to hear that. I really am glad to hear that you guys are able to make a solid friendship out of that.
Yeah.
Beyond just saying that it's mental, what did he have any advice for, like, the first time you throw one, or exercise to do in your mind to get you the negative thoughts out of there? Anything like that?
Yeah, well, he gave me some different techniques that he was using during physical therapy that helped him, where he was kind of putting one of those big soft, not medicine balls, but those big those big balloon
ball or the
the big old blue balls that they're in every gym, you know what I mean?
Not the kind you're used to giving out, Karyn.
Not those blue balls.
No, that thing is actually great if anybody's pregnant. Those balls, like, so you don't have to bounce the baby. You just hold the baby and you sit on the ball. You sit on the ball, but you sit on the ball and you just go like this, and it actually does the work for you.
I have them sit on my balls before I gave them the baby.
As soon as the
After
words
that,
come
they're
out,
doing that by themselves.
I
don't care what you can be on the ball, you can be on the couch, whatever. You gave him
an awesome opening there. I had some things in my mind, but I knew I had a better man sitting here right now.
Thank you, Chris.
We compliment each other now.
Thank you, Chris, for being a gentleman.
Yeah, of course, I'm a gentleman.
Not so much.
But anyway, that blue ball, you put on the wall, and you kick into that. You start slowly kicking into that, which I've been doing. And I'm to the point now, not that I'm kicking. I'm actually sparring, but I'm not kicking, like, I'm not really kicking leg kicks super hard at this point. I'm a little cautious. I will go up to the head and maybe hit the forearms and stuff like that. But
yeah. That makes sense.
I'm not messing with the knees.
Well, don't do that. Did you call Connor?
I got in touch with. I hit up Connor on Instagram, but he didn't respond to me.
I was gonna make a joke, something to the, or him going, "Mind your own fucking business, you fucking white man."
Yeah.
Oh, I don't.
I let him know that, hey, I'm
white
here
man.
for him. I mean, I think his was definitely different from
Yeah,
mine for
it is
sure.
different, but just still, it's similar.
Yeah, very similar, and yeah, no, but I don't think he needed my advice. I think he's good and positive on his own.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
That's a very nice way to put it for her.
yeah,
He poured some proper trouble on that, like a chassin.
exactly.
Does it like
He
does
poured
it?
some proper 12.
And he's good now. It's 100%.
Yeah,
For
check
sure.
the pain.
Hey, well, so something that you notice when people look at your Instagram. So now your kids are doing really well, right? So you've got a few kids, and a couple of them are wrestling now, right? Like how good are they? Like, are you already seeing? Ooh, we can mold this one. Like, do you have a little Olympian already at home?
I think honestly, both my kids are very talented, but wrestling is such a marathon. And
Yeah.
if I was to push my kids right now, I know they'd be really good and they could be, crushing it. A couple of years ago, my son, he's 9 now, but a few years ago he took second nationals. But we don't really. I had, back on Long Island, we had my gym and we had a kids wrestling program,
Right.
so he'd be at the gym all the time. He'd get practices in. But wrestling is such a tough sport mentally and physically that you kind of want to peak at the right times. And I think getting super passionate at a young age could be not the greatest thing. You see a lot of these parents having their kids, have like 300-400 matches, and the kids become amazing at a young age. But I just think when you look at the success of a lot of the top guys. Yeah. They didn't really start going hard until later in life, and I think there's like something to be said with that, with how long your passion could hold on for. Because I think it all comes down to passion, and you're pushing so young.
They had me. It's like when they put me in capoeira too young. I was cutting weight every week for the capoeira tryouts, and then the capoeira meets and stuff like that. And I was practice the beating ball, like you practice the violin. I was practice that all day in my home. But and I get burned out on that one.
Well, I was going to say, Renato, that is something you miss out on, though, by not being in contact with your children. You're missing out on the joy, though, of passing on your love for the martial arts to your children. Well, because Chris, at least, even if you're not going to push them to be Olympians, like it feels great when you see your kid doing something that you love to do, and they're doing it, and they like it, and they're doing well too. That feels good. I feel even better when I see myself do stuff that I like to do, and a lot of that one don't involve children. So, and then when they grow up, they can take care of themselves and have fun too. I'm showing them what it's like to be free. I'm learning this country to be free. I'm free to do whatever I want for her. And so and you know what? My kids can do whatever the fuck they want to do too.
You don't want your kids to be like you?
No, I want them to be like me. Having when they grow up, I don't want their life to be only about their kids. That's not why I hate them. I hate them to enjoy their life, like Popeye.
How about jiu-jitsu? Are they doing jiu-jitsu?
Some of the ones is doing God knows what for her. You know what? I don't mansplain to my baby mamas and stuff. I let them to have the free hand to raise them how they want for her. And I don't want to interfere on that one.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you a question here. We got a couple of questions in from some fans, Chris, and this is interesting. They're asking you what your take is. This is I am John Mack. What's your take on Hermansson versus Strickland? Who do you have on that one? And maybe you would fight somebody after that, like one of those guys after on your recovery. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I like both those fights for me, and those guys. That's an interesting fight. Is Strickland an orthodox fighter or is he southpaw? Do you know? I think he's orthodox.
I want to say
think he's orthodox, but he also might just switch. Seems like everybody kind of.
So I think Hermansson, it hits the ground. He's very dangerous with that head and arm guillotine choke, which I know Renato knows. Yeah. And but on the stand-up, Sean Strickland's kind of like a pitter-patter fighter. He walks forward. He has great defense, and he pressures, and he'll just tap you, and then he's going to throw some big strikes when you feel relaxed. And he's a good fighter. And who do I think is going to win that fight? What's the odds on that fight? I would love to know the odds on that.
I don't know. Let me see if I can see that. Renato, what's your take on that one? Because Sean Strickland he's like a, what do you call it? Not the Joker. He's like he's a wild card. You don't.
He's
know
a wild card, but I feel like I could be wrong, but I feel like the way he bully and get under people's skin, probably not gonna work on the Joker.
Yeah.
The Joke Man or Jackie the Joke Man.
Jack Hermanson.
Jack Hermanson.
Right now, sorry to interrupt. Right now they have Hermanson plus 170, Strickland minus 195.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I think what people have seen is Hermanson has kind of stressed out on his feet and looked for takedowns, not been able to get them, and then got starched on the feet. So I think that's kind of what people may be thinking, but he does have just as good of a chance of taking him down, dominating him on the floor, and hitting with one of those chokes. You know what? But if I was gonna put money on the fight, I'll go with Sean Strickland.
Interesting. Yeah, I might go the other way just because I feel like the people that have beat Hermanson and made him look bad or whatever is always kind of top of the food chain.
Yeah.
I don't feel.
Yeah.
I don't. Who is the best guy that Strickland? Not to say. I mean, Strickland might be the top of the food chain. I'm saying, but who's the best guys that he's?
Yeah, he hasn't
dominated?
proved it yet. I don't know who do we know? Who's he fought last?
Well, he
looked great against Uriah.
Jack Marshman on one of the ones. It was when he was sitting there and he was talking to him like the whole fight.
But who did he fight? Who was that?
It was Jack Marshman, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I was working that one, and he was talking to him, and he's like, "This is great, you're doing great," and then he was like, beating him up, and you're like, "No, I don't know if you should talk."
Yeah,
to
he
him
hasn't fought top guys yet.
Here, let me. But did he fight Brad?
Just Uriah, right?
Wait, yeah, I'm trying to here. I forget because I forget his record. And Sean, I should hit him up and have him jump in the conversation. Okay, so his record. He beat Uriah. He beat Christoph Jotko, Brendan Allen, Jack Marshman, Nordine Taleb, Court McGee, Tom Breeze. So yeah, you're right. And he lost to Ponzinibbio, and he lost to Kamaru, and he lost to Eliseo Zaleski dos Santos, who's great. So yeah, so when he got to the guys,
what Hermanson lost to? I'm trying to think about his fight.
Wait, Sean Strickland fought Usman?
I was at
long time ago.
He lost to Cannonier, and then he lost to.
You're talking about Hermanson.
Yeah, Jack Hermanson lost to Cannonier when we were over in Copenhagen.
Yeah, that was a bad fight for him.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me look at his because and Hermanson beat Kelvin, right?
I can't remember now.
He heel hooked him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh shit! I forgot about that.
Yeah,
one.
I couldn't believe Kelvin got caught with that.
Yeah, he beat him pretty fast. Unfortunately. So yeah, here's the thing actually. And while I look for this one, Sean was supposed to fight Luke Rockhold, Chris, and obviously you and Luke have history.
Yeah.
But like, do you think Luke is going to fight again? And do you think like he'll come back to the division? Like, what do you even make of that?
Honestly, I got no real thoughts on him. What he's doing, I don't know. He's a model. He's out doing his thing. Who knows what he's going to end up doing? No idea.
I know. He's one of those guys where I don't know. People ask about him and I'm like, I think he's done.
Yeah, I mean, Cormier might have a better idea of what's going on with him. What's he saying?
Well, Cormier is a model too. Karyn.
So listen. So Hermanson beat Edmund Shabazian, but he lost to Vittori. He beat Kelvin, but he lost to Jared. He beat Jacare. He beat David Branch. He beat
Jacare. That's a big.
He beat Callis Leitchis.
That's a big one.
Yeah, so he's beaten better, quote unquote, better fighters.
Yeah. So I think it's a great fight. Personally, I think it's an exciting fucking fight.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
As long if what's his name? What the hell's the guy's name?
Strickland.
No.
Hermanson,
man, my Swedish buddy. If he doesn't stress out on his feet, I think he wins the fight. If he's just a little bit more relaxed, I don't even care if he gets hit with stuff. But if he's just a little bit more relaxed on the feet, I think he wins the fight. But I just don't know if that happens.
You know what the thing though? I feel, and I could be wrong. What kind of one punch knockout power do Strickland have? Do he have that ability? So
I think he's a volume guy.
I feel like that kind of thing can happen with Jared Cannonier. But if it's a volume situation, Do you guys see Hermanson being just pick apart over a whole fight? I can't
No.
see that.
I don't see it either.
But
Maybe he won't be as afraid of the punches as he was with Cannonier, so that makes good sense because he was stressed out in that fight, and that's the fight I keep.
And you don't blame him.
Well, and Sean used to be a welterweight, right? And Jared Cannonier used to be a light heavyweight and a heavyweight. So it's like, for sure, you should be more fearful of Jared's punches.
Yeah.
But then again, fuck me and light skinned heart had a whole hunt down about the fucking fight this past weekend, and we was totally fucking hung about that.
Oh, about the main event?
We had gone.
Well, nobody thought Francis was going to take him down. What'd you think, Chris?
But then we was joking. We were like, imagine if he just become a hustler and check him down. That was like
I was going with Nagano, but I wasn't going with Nagano because I thought he was going to out wrestle him for 5 rounds.
Right.
I was going with Nagano over honestly the mental edge he had because he had knocked him out in sparring. That's kind of where I was headed with that fight, and how just powerful he was, or he is.
The way it went on the feet is how I thought it was gonna go. I just didn't bank on him saying "fuck this" and checking him down.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't know about the knee injury. That's why.
That's true too.
The knee injury. I wonder if that swing the odds. I thought it was crazy that Nagano was the underdog.
So here's the thing, because I actually wrote it down because I wanted to ask you.
He was the underdog, Nagano.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they said it was actually a grade 3 MCL tear, and then he also had damage to his ACL and MPFL.
Is grade 3 worse than grade 1?
If you're trying to work on that, and especially because when you go for wrestling, you figure like the shooting part is going to blow that out even more. Like
the MCL, the problem with the MCL is when you like they're doing lateral movement, circling. If your foot drags on the mat at all, you're gonna have such a sharp pain pinch in your knee. And I'm gonna say that's probably why he didn't move much. That's probably gonna be the worst situation for an MCL. The ACL is really not as painful in any situation. It's more of like an instability issue, but it wasn't a full tear. So other than inflammation that he probably got down within a 3-week period, I think he would have been fine. So I really think it was just more of the stand-up situations where he had to be careful, and that's why wrestling-wise, like as soon as he would get to the floor, as long as he's on the floor, his knee would be all right.
Right.
Yeah.
Jeez. But Renato, you thought Cyril was gonna win?
So did light-skinned heart.
Okay.
And we was hung, and we was like, well, okay, then fuck it. So
Wait, what'd you say? You said you went with him because he's light-skinned?
No, well, that's true, but we call Anthony Smith the light-skinned heart.
Light-skinned heart, right?
Oh, why? What was he saying?
He was saying the same shit. He was saying that me and him was both going with gun, and we was telling Karyn all the reasons why. We was like, listen, and we was breaking it down, and then I felt like a fucking dummy when it went the way it went. I go, well, throw that in the fucking garbage.
Okay, so I'm John Mack asked a question. What do you think about Aljo versus Jan?
Me?
What he's supposed to say, Porra.
So, I mean, obviously, I think Aljo, I know everybody hates Aljo right now, which he kind of
I don't. We love him. He's been on the show, too. We love him.
Oh, all right. But fans, I mean, he might be one of the most hated guys in mixed martial arts right now. No? Would you say he's like top 1 or 2?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, but he kind of does it to himself. So, but it's good. I think it's good for business. He's getting people to feel something for him. Right. I don't think it's really warranted, up until the point that he made it warranted with the aftermath stuff, but he did nothing wrong in that fight, No, like, taking the picture with Henry Cejudo the next day, and then, having the videos with him with the belt on every 2 seconds. He's just messing with people.
He's embracing the heel.
Yeah, he's the heel. He's going with the heel. So, but anyway, like, I just think Peter Yan, he really impressed me in that first fight. And the most impressive thing that I thought I saw in him was Aljamain took him down in like the first or second round and had him on the cage. And I know how good Aljo was there. And Yan had perfect technique and without stressing out, got back up to his feet in a way I'm not used to seeing people do. And I was super impressed with how relaxed he was with his with getting to his feet while like still managing all the different threats of submissions that were coming at him. Because Aljamain is so dangerous. I don't think there's too many guys in the UFC that have back control and submissions like him. So when Jan was able to do that, I was impressed. That being said, you know, Aljo is very, you know, he had a lot of things going on, you know, that for that day, you know, he didn't have the right preparation.
Oh, really?
He felt like with the way he ate that day, and he didn't felt like his energy levels were where they were supposed to be.
That's because he's hanging out with Hey Longo. He's feeding him, you know, brajol and fucking.
He supposedly
he
didn't eat that day. He didn't eat.
I know you're not talking about Longo.
No, Longo ate. You know Longo ate.
Caralho.
Boha.
So, okay, so, you know, and it's interesting though, Renato, because maybe that's also why Chris hasn't necessarily felt the need for you, is because he has Aljo and he's a great wrestler and stuff like that. I mean, have you ever rolled with Aljamain, Renato?
No, there's levels to this shit. You know, he's a smile. He's like if you look at me and him, it's like looking at Willis and Arnold in the different stroke.
He fights at 35, but Aljo's not that small. He's in incredible shape. I'm pretty sure he's in way better shape than you. And
I'm in incredible shape, and I'm weigh 200 pounds. So you know, you know, at a certain point, size matter. You should know that of all people.
Yeah, I'm very excited to roll with you again, Renato.
I'm excited now too. Especially now that you're compromised.
With all respect.
With all respect, you know, those knee bar and those ankle lock going to be coming fast and furious, huh?
Okay, so there was a question here. I'm sorry, I just scrolled away from it and didn't see who asked it. But what is your take on Israel versus Robert Whittaker?
Wait, did you just ask me a question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, what's your take on Izzy versus Whittaker?
Oh man, they both I think are coming off the best fights of their career. Wait, who did Izzy fight last?
Well, it was Vittori again, wasn't it? No.
I think it was Bohovic, then Vittori.
And then Vittori, right?
I think.
Both of them looked great in their last fights. I thought Whittaker looked amazing against Gaslam, and I think Adesanya looked great against Vittori. I don't know, Vittori, he's
good though.
He's good, but I don't know. He's whatever. I'm not here to hate on people or, you know, whatever.
Do you think he's always a bridesmaid?
I feel weird talking shit about anybody because I can't back it up. I can't get in the octagon and actually prove what I'm saying. So I feel like a keyboard warrior. So I just like to not say it.
No, please, you have the stats. You're very legitimate.
No.
I
need to be able to prove it in the moment.
Oh yeah. I keep forgetting you're in the same fucking weight class as these guys.
Yeah,
of course,
he's gonna give you as a hater. I mean, listen, we used to work together at the desk sometimes. It's the same thing. You got to give your opinion. It doesn't mean you're a hater. You know, but like that's the division you ran for a while. Izzy's in charge of it right now, and you know, it's a fair question.
Yeah, I think Whittaker, the way I seen him, he really evolved in that fight with Gaslam. He impressed me. The way he handled Gaslam's left hand was very impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at Izzy versus Gaslam, and then you look at Gaslam against Whittaker, I mean, Whittaker picked him apart compared to Izzy. I mean, it was a barn burner with Izzy. So
that's true.
Based on that, you would go with you have to go with Whittaker, and I'll go with Whittaker on this. I think he stays quiet. He trains very hard. And he has a lot to prove in this fight. I think he has a chip on his shoulder, even though he doesn't show it. And I think he's really gunning to take Izzy out in this fight.
I agree that's a very fair assessment. I think of the situation. I agree with you that it seems like Whittaker has a real point to prove, and I think a lot of that comes from him having those things happen to him when he wasn't in peak physical condition, and it's like the frustration of losing the fights when he wasn't even feeling his best anyway, you know, and the burnout. When we were over on Fight Island, he talked about that before that comeback fight. Like, he was just burnt, you know what I mean? Like, and he didn't want to train at all. He was a 6-day-a-week guy. I know a lot of you are and stuff, but like, I don't, or maybe he was a 7-day-a-week guy, but it just was a lot for a long time, and he didn't even want to train. And so to see him have that break and get healthy and everything and then come back, I do think he's a new and revitalized guy. That said, though, I also think, Israel has so much momentum. The Bohovich thing was one thing, but Israel has a real sense of momentum and a sense of ownership of that belt and that title right now. And he is beating everybody that's been put in front of him. So I feel, I agree it will be an incredible challenge. I don't know who's going to win though.
Yeah, until I see it, I'm not going to bet against Izzy,
Yeah.
but of course I'm an Izzy fan. So when I look at Whitaker, I go, this second chime, I'm like, ooh, that's it is a lot of danger there. But I still wouldn't give Whitaker the edge for some reason until I see him to prove that one,
There's also something to be said about Izzy, kind of talks shit leading up to the first fight and a little bit afterwards. Whitaker stayed quiet this whole damn time.
But that's his style.
Yes, but I just think the momentum starts building for the person who stays quiet and stays humble and keeps working hard and now has another shot on this guy who's been talking. I just think there's a lot of momentum mentally with that. He's had to harness a lot of probably angry vibes, and he harnessed it in, and he turned it into hard training, and I think that's going to come out when they fight.
That's very fair. And then also, Chris, I mean, obviously you're a perfect person to ask about this, because obviously too, when you are the champion, you bear a greater burden too, right? In all these other ways in your life as well. And by being the quiet challenger, you don't have all that stuff weighing on you. And, I do think that Israel has an incredible team, and he seems to manage everything very well. But at the same time, yeah, there are just more demands in his life as a champion. And maybe you could argue, if you want to, that Robert could be more focused or something.
100%. I agree with that. Especially because Whitaker was champion once before, knows what it's like to be a champion, and got away from it, realized the benefits of not being a champion, how it's way less stressful, and you could focus on what you love to do, which is the right training.
Yeah.
And knowing that his opponent is stuck in that championship way, being a champ really, it's tough to hold on to that belt for a long time, because it's as cognizant you are of it when you have it, you understand that you have to try to keep training the same way that you trained before you got it. Once you have that belt, it really does take a toll on your just everyday life.
Tell me about it. Oh, God.
Yeah. I know you know Renato.
Well, yeah, Renato, it's 27 times. I mean, it's a little different in the jiu-jitsu world, but do you feel the same way?
Yeah, it's no one ever did it before. No one ever held it that long. So it's like, yeah, you don't have someone to look up to. You look into yourself to look up to. I'm looking myself in the mirror. I go, look at this guy, for her. I go, what are we doing here, for her? And then I get lost in the baby brown sometime, and then I forget what I'm even talking about in the first place.
So, Chris, for you, where does the motivation lie now? I mean, obviously, you, or maybe not obviously, but I would imagine part of it is that you want to fight again just to prove you can fight again. But after having already been champion and after having already achieved a lot of great things, what's your motivation?
I want to take a fight at a time, but I want to just bring the best version of myself, inspire people, give people, some inspiration, knowing that you can come back from anything. They see what happened to me, and to be able to come back from that and put on a show and beat some of the best guys in the world. And I'm going to take one fight at a time, but I really do want to come back and become a world champion again.
Well, that would be incredible. And do you have a timeline for when you potentially could fight?
Probably early summer, I'm hoping.
Wow.
Yeah. I think within the next couple of months, I think my leg's going to be ready to go to where I can get into a pre-training camp where I do maybe 8 weeks hard, even cut some weight, maybe do a prefabbed weight cut. And then after that, get into a real training camp, set up a fight with UFC and get a real training camp and do another 8 weeks.
Wow. Because you could almost even train to be a backup on a middleweight fight or something. You know what I mean? To be to test if yourself is ready.
That's a good idea.
Through the motions mentally too of trying to get there. Because not for nothing, like Renato has said, every now and then he makes a good point, that you have to get over the the mental barrier of throwing that kick, right? And so maybe, you know, because we've heard, I mean, remember Stefan Struve, after having his heart issues, had a panic attack one time backstage moments before the fight. I mean, like, there could be something, you know, valuable in going all the way up to the moment, you know what I mean? And feeling all those feelings before you actually have to do it. I don't know.
Yeah, not for me.
Okay.
I don't know.
You're just going to be
good.
able to just
I'll
go
be
and
good.
do it.
I've been through so much crap in my life, to be honest, that I'm just I'm calloused from with all that crap. Listen, I'm being smart. I'm trying to do the best I can every day, but when it comes down to it, if anything, people are looking at me like I'm crazy with the stuff I'm doing already and what I've been doing.
Yeah.
I'll kick a pole right now if someone asks me to. So
that's why you and Connor
if someone
should
asks
talk,
you to,
like
I'll ask you to. No, I'm kidding.
All right, let's do it. You want me to kick something?
No. What? You know, I'm surprised. That sounds like something Hey Longo and Matt Serra would put you through. Like, kick that fucking baseball bat, Chris. Kick through that fucking Louisville slot.
Yeah,
Kick
we
through
do
that
things.
cocksucker.
We do things like that. Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised you haven't been doing that already with these fucking guys.
Yeah, no, I gotta get back to New York and start kicking some things here for.
Yeah.
So
pretty
now,
soon.
you're gonna go back to New York for your training camp when you do that one?
I'll probably go back to New York for a little bit. They'll come here for a little bit. I'll swing back and forth. We'll
because like Superman is like New York for you. Is like a crib town. You have that's where your strength. You know, you can't be too far from Long Island for her. It's in the water, like at the pizza crust.
I know.
The water.
That is true. That is true. I need to go back home and drink some Long Island water out of the faucet, out of the tap water.
Out of the
Get those minerals.
Yeah, drink some out of the faucet. You know,
Renato, we should probably let him go soon, honey. It's late.
We're gonna let him go when I say he could go, porra.
It's 11:15. Usually I go to sleep at like 9:30 these days.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, we gotta let him go soon.
My kids wait.
Okay.
I gotta wake up at 5:30.
Okay, you can
but
go.
Hey, this is all my. I'm hanging out. It's my choice. I could have hung up a long time ago. I'm hanging out with you guys. We're having a good time.
True.
Well, this have been an emotional
I had
roller
a
coaster.
scotch during the week. This usually doesn't happen.
You're having a scotch? Oh God.
I had a scotch. Yeah.
Nice. I love it.
Well, I'm glad we can bury the hatchet and to start afresh. It is the beginning of a beautiful relationship, porra.
It feels like it.
Over the next couple of months, I would love for you to come out to South Carolina, get some training with me.
I'm gonna do that.
Help.
Maybe I'm gonna come with Hey Longo and Matt Serra.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. That'd be great. Maybe
I'm
not. You're not gonna be a cornerman. You know, we're not there yet, but we could.
Okay, fair enough.
I would love your help. And I will say, now that we kind of buried the hatchet, no one's ever taken my back like that before. That was unbelievable. No one's ever done that.
I appreciate that.
So much respect.
God, it was like greased lightning at the time. I wasn't even thinking it happens. I'm not his sponsor. It's my God who do that.
But how was that throw though? How was that throw?
Okay, now that we're being honest, I had my neck was fucked up for about a year from that. And I'm not even joking about that. Until I went to a fucking chiropractor. For the longest time I could. When I'm driving, I'm doing like this. Oh, God. You know, like in Taxi Driver when De Niro go like this? You know, like after he gets shot in the neck? That's me when I was in the car. I go like this.
He's doing the De Niro. Right?
Yeah. And then I went to a fucking chiropractor. I was trying to get massage. Nothing was working. Finally, this fucking chiropractor was like, in one second, and put that shit back together. Nice. That's why I believe in that stuff. Anybody who says it's not healed is full of shit. Don't trust that one. Because all that stuff, I was checking a painkiller, doing all kind of massage, whatever's poking me with the chopsticks, whatever the fuck. And then now, the chiropractor, pop, put that shit back. So, you know.
All right, I'm good. I'm happy you're good now, man.
So you pain and suffering was emotional. Mine was physical. But we was both hurting.
Yeah, we were.
A lot of healing have came from this.
Yes, I feel really good about this.
And if you force one boy Chu came on here, that's even going to be another feather in your hat. And we're going to call Mahoney.
I would love to have Steven on sometime. I'll have to ask him. Do you have beef with Steven?
No, I'm just saying because he have the heck line. He's sleeping in the guy's fucking basement over here. He can maybe should just get him on here next, boy.
Okay, yeah, we'll work it out. We'll work it out. Well, Chris, I really, it's so great to just like, you know, you've been so positive about everything, and just like you said, you want to just inspire people. And if people aren't already, you know, aware of like your story and following you and how positive you are about that, like it really is incredible. And I know that we all have so much goodwill towards you, but like we're gonna freak out when we get to see you fight again. But like I still can't hear "Won't Back Down" and not think of you. Like I literally think of that blasted through the arenas and stuff. I hear that song all the time. It's gonna be really powerful when you come back. So I'm really, really looking forward to it.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I can't wait to make that walk again. You know, do my thing.
We're rooting for you, my brother.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me on. And Renato, I'll see you soon out in South Carolina. Karyn, you're the best. Take care.
Oh, thanks,
Ciao.
Chris. Best
Peace out, guys.
Bye. See ya. Oh, man, listen, Renato, you guys, this is good. I love that.
Wow. Sometimes this life, you never know what's gonna happen. You know how things gonna turn out.
I feel so good about that.
It's been a long time coming. And at first it was a hockey start. I didn't thought that there was hope.
Yeah, it was a little tense.
And I think I was able to be the bigger man. And I think I was able to rise above some of the negativity that he was.
Ooh. I mean, it seemed like you were the only source of the negativity more, though. Like, he didn't seem as... Let me just say I'm glad you guys worked it out. I'll just leave it at that. What?
I'm glad, too. I think I got to go back and say something now.
Okay, why? We're about to wrap it up and go over to the after party. Lionheart Smith, Lightheart Skinnedness is going to be there. Max Payne Griff is going to get... It's Team Light Skin on Tuesday. It's Tuesday Night Light Skin. We should change the name to the Light Skin After Party.
Tuesday Night Lights.
Tuesday Night Light.
It can be like, we can have a series of like Friday Night Lights. It's called Tuesday Night Lights.
Tuesday Night Light is really good. And we'll have to get Eric Anders on more often too.
All the
like,
ones.
oh shoot.
The Barge. We can go into the whole world of music and acting.
Dude, and like I said, Jakar Close is, for those who don't know, Jakar Close, you know what, remember on Kimmel, how they're always like, oh, apologies to Matt Damon. It's like, I feel like Jakar Close.
Yeah,
Jakar
he's that
Close
now.
Is my apologies to Matt Damon.
Exactly. Okay, everybody.
Thank you so much for joining. This was episode 21. We've had some kick-ass guests here already. We do it every Tuesday night, and hopefully you can come back on the next one too.
Ciao.
See ya.